All right. Waiting for it to hit. There we are. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Platform Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Jordan, and with me as always is Ryland Shriver. Ryland, we haven't been on in a little bit.
We haven't, man. You've been busy. I've been busy.
We've had stuff going on. And to be fair, until this week,
no
wasn't really anything going on.
Yeah.
Everyone's just been waiting for this competition.
Yep. And to be honest, I don't think the competition has let down for the most part.
No, not at all. This has been the most entertaining weightlifting competition I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you said you thought it was going to be the most entertaining, the best competition you've ever been alive for.
Yes, and I think so far, I don't know if it's been the best so far, but it's been really good.
I think, I don't know, seeing Hampton, I mean, is
how dope is that, man? I mean, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
it's been really good. So before we jump into it, while we let people get in the old stream, what you been up to, man? How's life going?
Doing good. Rehabbing the injuries, you know.
Yeah, kind of the same one. Rehab's not super fun or sexy, but
no,
it's important.
Back to lifting some weights actually yesterday, doing me some cleans, you know. Finally being able to do some more stuff. It's getting funner. More fun.
But yes, I once you can get back to doing the lifts, that's big.
Because I mean, to be honest, when you're injured going to the gym,
it sucks, dude.
Dude, it's depressing.
It is, and
everybody's progressing but you.
Yeah, I have a couple athletes dealing with that right now that are like injured and stuff.
It hurts.
I can see it in their eyes. Yeah, it's tough. But like it's important shit. And I always say injuries are a good chance to work on things that you normally wouldn't get to work on during day-to-day training. So, you know, there's some benefits that can come from it.
Yep.
We just had Masters Nationals in Reno. That's one of the reasons we weren't on. And that was a good meet, man. USAW did a good job. Masters is a different beast. It's way more chill, dude. Like the back rooms and stuff. Yeah, like
people just aren't like slamming monsters and like punching people in the face. They're just
it's relaxed. And I think it got more competitive the younger it got. So like the 35 and over age group, like the 35 to 39 was definitely the most competitive. But some of the people I had early, I helped out Will Fleming with one of his athletes who ended up winning.
Which we're going to have back on soon, by the way. People.
Yes, after Thailand, we're having Will on. But she ended up winning her weight class and age class, which was cool. But yeah, like everyone's just kind of supporting each other, and like there's not really any like there was girls who were cheering for people on stage who were taking lifts to beat them, and I was like,
that's nice to see though.
Yeah, for Masters, I think it is because like no one thinks they're going to the Olympics. No one has any delusions about where their performance is. They know what it is, and they're just there to like lift weights and have fun. And it was cool. And then, when I got to like the 35 and older group, it was a little more like a national meet in the back, like people burning people's clocks and stuff like that. And that's because that's what the athletes want, though, you know?
Yeah.
I had a couple super weird interactions, too.
With who?
I'm not going to say the name of the gym. I had never heard of them before. But so I was coaching one of my athletes, and I have a friend that used to lift, was on Delta weightlifting, but he was remote. He lives on the East Coast. And he was coaching an athlete, and we saw each other in the warm-up room before. And I was actually helping him. He was competing later that weekend. And I was counting for him, but he was like, "Hey, this is what this guy's openers are." And I'm like, "Oh, we're close. Like we should share a platform." Right. So we get into the back, we start warming up, and his guy's opening and my guy's like third or fourth to open, but the snatches are pretty close. They're within like 5 kilos of each other. So we're warming up. We get to like 60 kilos, and some dude walks on the platform, and his coaches like take the weights off the bar, and he like takes the bar. And I was like, "Oh, like, would you guys mind?" There were other platforms that only had one lifter on them, and I was like, because we already had two, and I was like, "Oh, would you mind like hopping over to like one of the other platforms?" And the athlete was like, "Yeah, no problem." And I go to walk over to the table to like check the count to see where we are. And this dude's coach like comes up behind me and is like, "We were here first. We were here before anybody." And I was just like, "Okay." And I just take my lifter and I move over to another platform.
It's almost not even worth it stressing your athlete out
Well, my thing is, like,
arguing with somebody.
why didn't you? Here's the thing: as a coach, you actually have a lot of stuff to pay attention to. But one of the easiest things is how many lifters are there and how many warm-up platforms are there. Okay.
Yeah.
In our session, there were 10 lifters and there were 6 warm-up platforms. So there's
not bad. It's been worse.
Right. So people are going to have to share, but there will be plenty of platforms with one lifter. Why wouldn't you say something beforehand? If he had said something earlier and was like, oh, we're on this platform, I'd have been like, no problem. But like, why are you going to wait? Watch us warm up all the way to 60 kilos, not say anything. And then when I see your athlete dump the weights off the bar and I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to reload those every time for 3 people. Like, why don't you just hop over to one of the platforms with one person on it? The coach like throws this hissy fit. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And so I just grabbed my guy and moved.
Especially the nationals. Like at the nationals, I understand if that was like some international thing, you know, like
you trying to play, get in our head or something.
Trying to play and get in heads. Like, I mean, Weightlifting House has been doing a good job covering this meet, and they posted a video the other day talking about Philippines. So you got Heidelin Diaz, and there was another
athlete not going to the Olympics, which is
not going to the Olympics. Yeah, great video. Y'all got to watch it. But their teammates, they're burning clocks and stuff. Like I would expect that to happen, but that's an international meet to go to the Olympics. I mean, just got some masters putting around at nationals.
To me, it was so weird to see. It was so weird to see an adult man coaching another adult man, like grown men, right? They're everyone's masters. To be like, we were here first. Like, okay.
It's childish, man.
Congrats. Like, if you would have said something earlier, I would have gladly moved. If you feel like you got there. But why are you going to wait till we're already warmed up? We already have our groove going with the other athlete. We know what like me and the guy handling him, we're talking about, like, we're going to take this and then you take that. You know, the normal conversations that happen. And then to, like, just walk on the platform, dump the bar, and be, oh, we were here first. It's just like, dude,
that's not cool.
Okay, whatever. It's just weird. And it seems like weird events at meets follow me. I don't know if this is super common. I haven't coached a ton of national meets, but like I told you about the incident I had in the back
local
room.
I think it was.
Yeah, with the other person that will remain nameless. The super weird interaction. And like, I just don't understand why it's so hard for people to just be like, hey, let's chat. Let's chat and make sure we're all on the same page. There's plenty of warm-up platforms. Let's make sure we're not overcrowding one. Let's make sure everyone has the space. I don't get it.
Yeah, people at the end of the day, I don't know what it is, especially at like national stuff. I don't know if it happens like in other countries, but it's like, I guess probably not as much because they have much, it's far more centralized than we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything's probably organized a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's just like a nationals meet, man. Like,
and the thing is, it's important. Even if it was a local meet, the whole "I was here first" thing was so weird to me.
Yeah,
like then say something earlier. Like you could have changed this entire situation had you spoken up and said something earlier. We would have moved. You could have moved. Someone could have moved. But you wait until like we're already halfway through the warm up process to throw like a little hissy fit. It was so bizarre. But other than that, it was great. Masters was fun. USAW did a really good job.
How was the judging?
It was inconsistent, but it wasn't any worse than like a normal national meet. You know,
That's
look, I don't know what the exact rule with this is, but I always tell my athletes, if you have lockout issues, and they're definitely more common with masters, right? People that pick up the sport later don't develop super good shoulder mobility.
It's true.
Lockout issues are a problem. I always tell my athletes, point to your elbows. Like worst case scenario, you lock it out perfectly.
Do you have more of the black long sleeve? Like
No, because it's people that I have 2 athletes that literally my master's athletes can't lock out their arms to full extension. Right. So I say point to your elbows so they know. Worst case, they don't care. Best case, they're like, oh, you're telling us you can't lock out your elbows. So I know you're not locking out the lift. Right. Because that's my understanding of the rules. There were so many people that couldn't lock out their arms or that did not point to their elbows and were given good lifts. And I was just like, okay, is this a rule? Is this not a rule? It's just consistency.
Maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like for masters, since like I almost going to say with almost 100% certainty, you're not going to be making an Olympic team in your future.
Yes. No, I think you can say that with 100% certainty.
Unless like you're a freak like Jason Bonnick. Like remember Jason Bonnick? Like
yes, there's one. I mean, every once in a while, yeah.
But I think the press out rule, period, that may be something I'd be in favor of, wiping it. Like once you're a master and you're competing, maybe just
For Masters
maybe
specifically,
just cut
I
it.
could get on board with
Like,
that. Yeah.
I mean, not that it's not serious. Like, don't get me wrong. Like winning a national championship, going to an international meet, winning that, like that's some high level stuff. But I'm just saying, like, maybe just nix the press out rule for that. I feel like that'd be a lot easier because, as you were saying, you have older athletes that are getting into the sport a lot later than somebody like. I feel like I started the sport late, and I started like in 2018. It's like I feel like I started the sport 2015. Maybe?
Yeah. For an American, you started it super young, but internationally, you probably started it late. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like if I were doing that a lot earlier, I'd be a lot more flexible than I am. Like my hips wouldn't be tight and whatnot.
Right.
But for people that are picking it up like in the 30s, 40s, later 40s, like screw that. Like get rid of the press out rule. You're gonna have so much more inclusion in the sport. People are gonna be like, oh yeah, there's not this shady press out rule, which like depending on what judge you get may or may not fly. Like,
and that's the thing. It was just the inconsistency. And like I know it's hard for the judges. It was probably hard for them to like try to figure out who is like actually hindered by their mobility, who is just not locking the bar out, but again, like you said, it's Masters. Like it was a good time. The judging was not spectacular, but it wasn't any worse than a normal USAW meet. And I don't mean to crap on the judges because they're underpaid and I don't think they're given enough respect. And I don't think the judging problem in USAW is the judges specifically. I think it's the way judges or USAW compensate and trains their judges, but that's like a whole nother thing.
Fair.
But it was fun. It was cool. But we should get into the meat of this.
I think we should.
Thailand,
Hampton.
baby.
We'll start with Hampton.
We're not even touching on the lighter weight classes, no, because they don't matter.
Well, I mean, nobody competed.
Well, I mean, the women's 49 happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I mean, nobody from like our side competed.
No, nobody from our side. Well,
Haley hasn't been competing.
But they did send. Did we send 255s?
Yeah, so we sent.
There's a bunch of weird people at this meet.
Yeah, so we sent Jordan.
Shayla Moore. And then there was another girl.
Yeah, they sent a newer athlete, and she did pretty.
I'm assuming to get experience.
Yeah, she did pretty okay.
Yeah, she did good.
I think relatively speaking to what her best were, I think she may have done PRs and whatnot. But I mean, there was nothing. We didn't have a 49 compete, which I think is good. I think a lot of people for this meet, the people that are like safe, so say like Jordan De La Cruz and whatnot, I wouldn't have personally, maybe kind of jumping the gun here, like kind of hinting at the 89 session. I wouldn't have competed if I didn't need to.
Yes.
Like you
would have just weighed in.
Yeah, I would have just weighed in. Like, I think people competed and they didn't need to compete, and you're putting too much stress on your body when you have the most important meet of your whole entire, literally what you're born for. Like,
we can get into that, but the one thing I want to say from the women's 49, and I have to throw this out there just because my girlfriend is a huge Team Italy fan.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Julia Imperio did what we kind of expected her to do.
Yeah.
Didn't qualify. Honestly, really bad showing for Team Italy overall. None of their people that were outside the qualifying were even able to get close.
Russell, was it the video you posted of what Julia? Big Julia or little Julia?
Because Big Julia was this morning and did the exact same thing.
Yeah, was it Tarakvi posting like her standout looks and whatnot?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's criminal. It's criminal. Top level athlete talking about how good they look. Come on now, man.
Look, I mean, we've talked about that before on here, and I don't understand like what the point of that is. But as far as I'm concerned, the Turokti media thing is just kind of like a joke, anyways. Like, it's the dubbing, the voiceovers are terrible. It's like I don't know why it's in English because it's in like really broken English, which you know what I mean. Like
stuff gets lost in translation.
Language. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 49 women. It was a good session, but I'm trying to remember if anything super crazy happened.
I want to say there was a world record. There was a world record in the 40. Yeah, I think there was a world record in the 49s. Was it the North Korean? No, I want to say it was China. Let me look on the IWF website, right? Or I have.
I don't think it's up yet. Oh, you have the results? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I got my eyes on the qualification totals right now.
Let's look at women's totals. 45. Nobody cares about that.
We need 49.
40. Who's we? I don't think it was a world record. It may not have been a world record. Because North Korea also has a 97 in their snatch. I want to say that's a world record, but I could be mistaken. But
And hold on. On the chat board, Alex Archia points out Team Italy only has one total. Yes. Sergio Masita was the only Italian athlete to total. So far, I don't know if they have.
Sergio competed up. He competed as a 67.
And he did really well. But then again, his Olympic spot, he's number 2 in the world. So his Olympic spot is
he's not number 2 in the world.
Masita in 61s? Yeah, he is. No. Oh, wait. Hampton might have bumped. What did Hampton hit?
303.
Yeah, okay. So Sergio's 3 now.
Yeah.
But he was number 2 in the world. So, like, he knew he wasn't going to get bumped out of his spot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just to speak on Team Italy real quick, I watched a video that All Things Gym posted where they were talking to the Italian coach. And the Italian coach was saying things like that he prioritizes like intensity over volume. Basically, I know they let their athletes pick the exercises that they do a lot. Max was telling me that like Team Italy's training is very like athlete influenced, and they'll give them variations and stuff that they feel confident in to try to like make them feel good. But I think the problem with that, just from a coaching standpoint, is if you're always picking stuff you're good at, you're not getting better at the stuff that you're bad at.
I was talking with Hannah earlier, and I was saying that there must be a reason why a majority of the Italian females are slightly lagging in the clean and jerk, or majorly lagging in the clean and jerk. Must be. I mean, now that you say that, because I didn't know that. I mean, they're skipping their squats and they're skipping their clean and jerks.
That's the
skipping
thing,
their 2+1s.
It makes me wonder, because the one thing about Team Italy is they all move really well. Like all of them are technically really sound.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, based on like the way that the coaching was described, if that's leaving things to be desired, if you will, on the training side, that's not preparing them. Because like at least looking at the women, it was Magistris and both the Julias all had a chance to get into the top 10 like 3 times, I think, and none of them came close. So it was just weird to see like their different coaching style, and it was like kind of working because I think they all at one point were in the top 10, but then they all got bumped out and couldn't get back in. But let's jump to what, in my opinion, has been, well, as of before this morning. So on the men's side, Hampton fucking Morris, dude.
Yeah.
Not only like, did what he went there to do and secured his qualifying total for the Olympics, put a fucking stamp on it, dude. Setting a senior
world record.
An American male has a senior world record for the first time in, I think it was 45 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane because Hampton Morris is a junior lifter. A junior lifter. I remember when other countries were doing that, and you're like, fuck, man, like this, Carlos has like a senior world record as a junior. Like that's insane. As a youth, right?
Yeah.
We have one that does that. We have one. I remember CJ, I believe, came close. I know he had a junior world record as a youth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think CJ ever had a senior world record.
I don't think he was.
But I think he was getting there.
Yeah, when he was a 73 doing like 193, he was like really close.
Yeah, but he never got there. And then, like insane Hamptons. He had a good snatch day. He snatched 27, barely missed 30. Definitely capable of hitting that at the Olympics. And then, dude, that clean and jerk, though. Like, what a performance.
Yeah. I mean, I think with Hampton, it's crazy because I'm like, if you go to the results, right? You look at Hampton Miller Morris, body weight, 61.00. Like, man is he's on the money. Then you look at Lee Fei Bin, 61.00. You look at Philippines totaled 300, 61.00. Everybody is like, there ain't no, like let me add a little bit more body weight. Like they're maxed out. And I always think, I'm like, man. And you look at how built Hampton is. Like you look at his legs, like dude is just jacked. And I'm like, man,
He's a
there's no
tank
way
for a smaller guy. He's a tank.
there's no way that he can add more. There's no way he can add more kilos on his total. Like he's maxed out what he's like physically capable of at that body weight. Then I see him go compete again, and I'm like, okay, I take back whatever I said.
Dude,
like,
I think
that's
he's going to take a shot at 180 at the Olympics.
Yeah, I would love to see Lee Di is no Lee. I'm getting confused. Lee Fei Bin, excuse me.
Yeah,
Get Lee Fei Bin. I would love to see him have like a meh snatch day and like a medium clean and jerk day, because you saw him. He was not able to do very good at the clean jerk at all.
I mean, so from what we saw at this competition, look, Hampton cannot keep up on snatch with Lee Fei Bin. He's not going to be able to within the next 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if Hampton snatched like 132 at the Olympics.
Right, but what did Lee Fei Bin set a new snatch world record?
46.
Right? 46. Yeah, like he's good. He's not going to be able to make that up in clean and jerk.
No.
But if you told me that Hampton Morris, who was sitting 9th, I believe, before this comp, or
I think it was 7th.
7th? Okay, so he's on the cusp. We're not looking at a possible silver medalist at the Olympics.
And I think
that jump right there is insane.
I think it could easily be gold medal. It depends. It almost like
I don't know about easily. It could be, but Lee Fei Bin would have to have a real bad day.
Lee Fei Bin's an older lifter. You kind of see it with Andrei Rybakov, like kind of a snatch specialist and just crap at the clean and jerk. Like he was great at the clean jerk. Like you watch old Belarus videos, like there's some really old good training ones if you look them up. Like he was doing like close to 190 in the snatch and like 210 clean and jerk. Then as he got like older and kept on competing, his snatch would be like pretty dang high, but his clean and jerk would just be like terrible, like opening up first.
I think the thing is with Team China at the Olympics, like I forget who was talking about this. It was one of the 89s, I think. It was either Tian Tao or Li Dayan was saying that, like, at the Olympics, you just win. You're not there to set records. You're not. So I don't think we're going to see Lee Fei Bin try to touch anything near 146.
And I think for a lot of these,
snatch whatever he needs to stay enough ahead of Hampton to know that he can beat him in clean and jerk.
Yeah, I mean, he's still going to have to get quite a bit ahead of him, though, on the snatch. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he does have to take, like, a 146 or a 145 again.
Well, I'm really curious to see what Hampton's going to be snatching at the Olympics, because I think he's in a strange situation where, you know, do you go big on snatch and risk possibly only posting one lift or even bombing out? Or do you go conservative and try to make everything up in the clean and jerk and get onto the podium? Like there's a weird game that's going to be played there for sure.
And I think also I because Hampton trains alone majority of the time. I know it must be like you train alone for a long time. I've trained alone for a long time. It's not fun.
Sucks.
And knowing you qualified for the Olympics, like the confidence boost that must give you.
Oh yeah.
Like, all those teeny aches and pains that he probably doesn't have because his recovery's on cloud 9. Like
right.
All those. The fatigue of training and stuff, like I'm guessing that his mental is going to be so good.
He's going to have a good training cycle leading.
He's going to have he's going to have a proper training cycle leading up to the Olympics. Yeah. I think it's going to be awesome. I would love to see him destroy China. Play the anthem.
We all would play the anthem. We all would love to see that. I hope to God that happens. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I hope that happens.
There's I feel like watching the Olympics though. And this is like just streaming it like last Olympics, it was hard to like watch it. Was it hard for you to like find it and watch it like live, or is it just me? Like on the TV trying to look it up.
Like trying to find. Yeah, I remember there were some issues with that, like on the streaming apps and stuff.
I'm gonna try to get it on lock now. Whatever I have to pay to watch it, I don't care.
I'm curious if weightlifting. No, I think with the Olympics, Weightlifting House won't have the broadcast rights. It's going to go to like NBC or something, and they're probably going to show it tape delayed, which would suck. But okay, so Hampton, amazing performance. Hampton Morris, great American. We move on to the women's 59. Not a lot to say here, other than the reigning Olympic champion Heidland Diaz is out of the Olympics. Bested by her teammate. And this would have been Heidland's 5th Olympics. So,
she's 8, 12,
16, 21, 20/21. And then this would have been number 5. But Crazy career, first ever gold medal for the Philippines. Like, gotta
like
respect
two houses.
it.
Like two
Yeah,
houses.
I know, right? When they talked about
Sick,
like what the government gave her for winning a gold medal, it was
as everybody should if you're an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, why don't they give Americans houses?
I don't know. Well, I'm sure they basically do with other sports,
Yeah, well, they do all. They give them millions of dollars, which you can buy a house, car, whatever the hell you want. But nothing super. Camila Konatop, who's the world number 2, didn't compete, but she's locked in.
Smart though. Smart.
Maud jumped into 3rd place, I believe. She was in 4th, and now she's 3rd. She had.
What'd she clean and jerk?
God, Lord, I don't remember. But she had a really good meet. I know she had a really good meet.
I have it right here.
And Yenny Alvarez also going. Taylor Wilkins in the 59s. Gritty performance. I think she probably knew she wasn't going to get into the top 10. But she went big, and I guess that's all you can do in that situation.
Yeah.
I like to see him fight for it, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. Of some other things we're going to talk about. You looking at Maud's clean and jerk?
Yeah, I couldn't. 59s.
Yeah.
59s. I'm not seeing it. We're going to see it. Oh, Italy. No.
Yeah, Italy didn't have a... Well, Magistris, yeah, she competed, but she did not.
And Magistris did 115, 99 and 115. And
did she total?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She did total. She made her last clean and jerk, right?
Yeah, it's not telling me exactly what it was, but it's also not telling me I can't find the athlete that you're talking about. It's
Maud Sharon.
Yeah, it's not. It's not on here.
Okay, so we'll jump to the next category, which is men's.
Yeah, let me get this pulled up. This was juicy.
80.
No, 73.
73s. Yes. Yeah, I almost jumped.
Yeah.
73 was one of the best weightlifting sessions I've ever seen.
It was. I remember I wasn't watching. I didn't pay for the stream, right? So I'm watching everything secondhand. I'm watching that damn scoreboard like a hawk, like seeing what's happening. Oh my gosh,
dude! So I watched it live, because I'm trying to remember. Did I wait? Yes, we woke up and watched it live. Because it was like 5 a.m. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
But dude, that whole session, you had the 2 Turkish lifters going head to head. You had the 2 Indonesian lifters going to head to head. I was a little bummed Bozidar didn't compete, the Bulgarian, but that makes sense because he didn't need to. Okay, on the chat board, Quan says Maud clean and jerked a Canadian record at 130. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, she had a great day. Mirko Zani went big, didn't get in. Mosquera had an okay day. His spot is safe.
I was brain farting. I was looking for an Italian because the name sounds like Italian. I was looking, completely blank and looking for a Canadian. I know, my bad. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, my bad.
And then so it was Ozbek versus Gench, where Gench put up an okay fight, but he just didn't have it on clean and jerk. But dude, let's talk about Irwin versus Ritsky. That was insane.
That was I think for most people it was one of the bigger upsets of weightlifting in the the
modern era. But that's not quite Steiner-esque, but it's in that realm.
I'm not upset. If you had to ask me who I want to go, I would say Rizky. Me an ugly clean and jerk. It's sick.
When it comes to those kinds of lifters, I don't really have quote favorites. They're both different versions. They're both Indonesian, really good
the underdog
weightlifters. Yes. And that's what I was going to say. The cool thing is seeing the underdog come through. I thought the really interesting part too was on Abdullah's last 2 clean and jerks, and Seb was losing his mind.
Yeah, they were going crazy.
Well, he misses it, and then did you watch the session live eventually?
Yeah, I was able to watch it. Yeah.
Okay, so he misses it, and then he goes and sits down on the steps for 30 seconds, and then gets up to take it again. And Seb's like, "What is he doing? What is he doing? He has a minute and a half." And then
that was crazy.
Gritty clean, and then he just stood there for 6 seconds.
You could see it start slipping off his chest.
Just resting on his shoulder. And he still went for it. But I got to wonder, what was at some point as a coach, you got to be like, "Whoa, buddy, you have time. Get your air, relax."
I think it's a smart move, though, sitting down on the steps.
That was smart.
I've never seen that before.
You're saving energy by sitting on the steps, and then you don't take even a quarter of your clock.
I don't see why he didn't wait, because he doesn't have a long setup. He
No,
kind of
and
walks
he's
up,
right
gets
there.
a
He's on the
breath, and he
steps.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
and
see
he
why
still
he didn't
fucking
wait.
cleaned it, which is insane.
I don't know why he didn't wait till he had like 20 seconds left.
Yeah,
15
yeah.
seconds.
I mean, I
Or
think that's definitely
even longer. Like walk up to the bar when it's counting down single digits. Like
Yeah, I don't know the situation, but I would guess he was just super antsy and he was probably in fight or flight basically and was just in panic mode.
yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw Rizky make the 164, I knew. I mean, man came back from appendix surgery.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean,
he's honestly he smoked that last clean and jerk. Like it was gritty, but he had it the
I
whole
mean,
time.
seeing that he made like the 164, and I knew he was a really good clean and jerker. I watch his like training videos. It's like championship V4 or something on YouTube. It's like some gotta like search for it some. It's like his coach or something. One of his like country like teammates or something, and they post his training and stuff on YouTube, and he's done like 200 clean and jerks. Like a few years ago, he's done like 200 clean and jerks and stuff. I know he hang snatched 170. There was a video of him hang snatching 170 from a while ago. Probably deep on the files on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
But I knew he's gonna be in like super good shape, and he's made like 157 snatch, maybe 158. He made 158 not long ago. But I mean, he got an appendix surgery.
Comes
Like,
back against
crazy.
the world number 1 and world record holder and beats his teammate. Like that's crazy.
And everybody had the biggest man crush on him. They thought like, oh, his clean and jerk so good. But I mean,
everyone was so yeah, you're taking the hipster thing of like, I don't like the popular guy. I like the not popular.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the
cool.
Klokov versus Akayev debate in another package, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna choose. I mean, I know you are always gonna choose the Akayev, and I mean, like,
of course,
I'm always gonna choose the Akayev as well. Like, it was pumped to see Rizky go. I was in here watching the scoreboard live, like freaking out, like refreshing Instagram, trying to see what was going on. It was like a video pumps out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
it
that's
was nuts,
insane. Because I knew the 164 went, knew it was gonna be really close. Because I knew that he couldn't Erwin could not clean and jerk much more than like 205. I knew he had to clean jerk something big for that.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, his first attempt at that clean and jerk was, I thought he was going to make it. But once he sat down and then got up, I was like, I was with Seb. What are you doing? Relax, bro. You got time.
Yeah. Rewatching that and seeing him, the clock hit like 130 and Seb like, sounds so flabbergasted. And I'm like, that is the worst. I mean, I've never been in a situation even close to that, but coach or spectators or somebody be like, chill the hell out, sit back down. Seb said from another country would be like, sit down.
Yeah, Seb said, why did his dad let him come out? So I'm assuming his dad is his coach.
But yeah, his dad's his coach. If you see
look at him,
videos of his dad doing the double bicep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's their thing.
If you watch him, if you watch it again, when he's sitting on the steps, you can see it in his face. It's like he's not even there. You know what I mean? Like he's so like, oh my God, like this is my last chance to to make the Olympics. Like he's full panic mode. And I think that's why he got up super fast and basically ran out there because he was just in pure fight or flight. But that was maybe the best session so far.
Yeah, I think it.
But
I think it was the best session so far.
We move on to the women's. What was the next one? We just did
71s.
71s, which was this morning.
We're doing it out of order, but that's okay.
Yeah, because everything's a little out of order. So should we do men's 80? Let's do men's 89 first. Let's do it in order. Because the women's 71 is definitely like the coolest session as an American.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So men's 89, not as good as I think everyone thought it was going to be, but still a really good session. We saw 2 snatch world records fall back to back. Team Italy, Nino.
Yeah.
Not great, but he's going to the Olympics. Robu didn't do great, but he's going to the Olympics. Bodhi Santavi bombed out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, American Nathan Dameron was not able to post a total. He went for it. Man. I want to do like a case study on Nathan Dameron between 2021 and now, because when the 2020 quad ended in 2021 because of COVID and everything, he's like that. As far as I was concerned, he was the one American I was sure was going to the Olympics on the men's
he
side.
snatched 171 in Hawaii.
Yep.
Remember? I remember he was training with Wes, and we were like, why send Nathan? Like, just send like Nathan. He needs to go. He's in such good shape. I don't know.
During 2021 Olympics, he was the best men's American weightlifter.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And something, I don't know. Look, life gets in the way, things happen, but he was never able to get even close to back to that point because he was routinely clean and jerking over 110 too. Or sorry, 210.
210, yeah. I mean, in Bogota, he did amazing. I remember watching that and being like, there's no way he's not going to. I was like, he's going to snatch 170. He's going to clean and jerk over 210.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's what I said. Yeah. I figured he would be good for, by the time this rolled around, somewhere around 170, somewhere around 215. That's what I figured he'd be good for.
Yeah.
I mean, plus or take depending on misses, but that would be around his total. And that total would have gotten him into the Olympics.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I just don't know what happened. It's like I think it's like 3 meets. He just hasn't looked like himself. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he could have been hurt. I mean, he's been training for a really long time.
His training age is a lot older than his actual age, right? We've all seen the MASH videos of Dameron training when he's like, 16, 17, putting up massive squats, training stupid, right? So that was a bummer, and we'll get into Wes. I do want to talk about Wes a little bit. We'll recap it next week after the session happens. But so Bodhi Santavi and Nathan are not going.
I was really sad. I mean, a lot of people give Bodhi crap, but I wanted to see it. I wanted to see him go.
I mean, I think it was going to be tough for him anyways. I know he bombed out on snatch, but I don't really think he was going to be close to getting there.
He snatched 176 leading up with straps. I mean, it's like when I saw Carlos do the 180 with straps. It's like, oh yeah, I know these guys can snatch big weights with straps, but like, if they take them off, can they do the same thing? I don't really know.
Yeah, and so another one, Kadamar didn't have a good meet at all. But again, his spot's safe. You don't know where people are. Like, it seemed like some people really wanted to be in good shape for this comp, even though they didn't need to be. And some people, to me, Kadamar, they said he was dealing with a knee issue, but it just looked like he's prepping for the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, this meet was probably fun to go to, and it was mandatory and all that stuff. But like, mentally, I'm sure he's focused on Paris. But
yeah, that's kind of what I was hinting at the beginning. I saw a lot of people that competed that did not need to compete. Like, I understand.
And go big.
Yeah, Rizky and Rahmat Abdullah Erwan or whatever. He needs to show up. They both need to show up in tip-top shape, just like the Olympics. I wouldn't be surprised if they totaled more now than he's going to do at the Olympics.
Same.
Which is understandable. But then you have like Kadamar show up. I think it's a mandatory weigh-in.
Right. But you don't have to total. Yeah.
You go there and you just weigh in and you just train like you're around some good ass athletes. I mean, eat some good food and train.
Is there an experience level to it? Is there a showing up to your competition level to it? I'm just wondering what could possibly be the motivation. But then you have Carlos and Jason, both 100% going to the Olympics.
But you know why they're showing up, man. They're recovering the day after, like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
They're just there for the show, like.
Yeah. So Carlos hits a world record 181 snatch, and he holds that world record for about 45 seconds before Jason Lopez smokes 182, which was awesome. The clean and jerks weren't as exciting. Lead day in didn't look great. There's a lot of talk now about what male athletes Team China is going to send. They're for sure going to send Fabin from the 81s, right? I think that's
almost the 61s. You mean
61? Sorry, yeah. He's about as much of a lock as you can get. And I don't really know what Team China's plan is with Fabin, Tian Tao. I mean, Tian Tao retired officially, so I guess he's definitely not going.
Would you think China is going to send somebody if they have a chance of them getting like bronze or silver, or would they rather
they
not
might
send
have
buddy?
to. So they have 3 men or the spots, right? So you figure Li Wanhua at 102
Yeah.
is for sure going to go now. And then it's either Lee Dae-in or who's their 73?
Oh,
they don't even have a 73.
well, they do have a 73. It's Shi Jiang.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a embarrassing brain fart. So
Yeah.
she now.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't been seeing too much of him. He's just been
well, he's in the same boat as I guess Tian Tao was. Injuries. He, I'm surprised we didn't talk about it in 73s. He put out a gritty performance.
Mm-hmm.
Seb and everyone watching seemed to think that was the last time we're ever going to see him.
I don't think so.
So the consensus now is it's going to be Fabian, Dae-in, and Lee Wanhua, which leaves the 89s open, leaves 73s open. Because if you send Dae-in did not look good. Lee Dae-in did not.
No, I don't think if I were the Chinese coach, we got the 61. Fabian. I would send Shi Jiang. Because I think
you think they would send? Well, she's got to go up against Rizky.
But if Shi Jiang can,
well, let me put it this way: his total right now is 7th in the world. Dae-in is still the world number 1.
You're telling me
even after that comp,
with proper training and proper fishing,
you're taking Shi over Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Lee Dae-in. I don't think his lifting is very fun to watch at all. That's just me. But like,
okay,
it's
so
just like
you're doing it based on entertainment and not at all as the Chinese
Russell,
coach.
that's why I'm here.
When you said if I was the Chinese coach, you meant if I wasn't the
I'd
Chinese
be like, you lift more. I like to watch you lift more than I like to watch you lift. So I'm going to take you. That's how I'm going to decide. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's your prerogative, as did a head coach of Team China. I think we're going to see Fabian, Lee Dae-in, and Lee Wanhua. But it's crazy, honestly, like looking at Team China now compared to 4 years ago, they're nowhere near as everyone is. I think the thing is that the Team China athletes themselves, I feel like, are pretty likable. Everyone likes Shi. Everyone likes Tian Tao. Lee Wanhua is not like a hateable guy. You just hate the idea of Team China. This ever-dominant... It's like any other sport, right? When the Yankees were dominant, everyone hated the Yankees. When the Patriots were dominant, everyone hated the Patriots. Same kind of a deal, right? You just hate the people that always win and always win and always win. But Tian Tao was like one of the coolest lifters to watch. You know what I mean? And he kind of lets his personality out on social media a little bit, which is nice. His love for fishing.
And she's the same way. Shi Jiang's the same way.
Which apparently now that's what he's going to be doing. But real quick on Tian Tao, amazing career. I think injuries held him back from what we could have seen him be at the end of the day. But
yeah, he really could have been like a Sarab Maradi.
Yeah, like an elite like level. Constantly.
He always said his hands always held him back. He has small hands.
Oh, really? Interesting.
He said for the snatch it always held him back.
I guess that makes sense. It's a tougher.
If you like. They have you'll get like some weird like angles and like weightlifting. You're kind of able to see how much they're able to grip, but like I think he's barely getting like the tip of his thumb. Yeah, it's not very much.
Interesting.
I mean, like when I hook grip for the snatch, like I'm getting.
I'm way in there.
I'm locking in there.
Deep in the pocket. But overall, though, the 89s was entertaining. The clean and jerks kind of left a little bit to be desired. Like we saw Carlos go for the world record. But other than that, like there wasn't really any battles
Carlos
at that
just
point.
Screwing around. Carlos, bro,
when he winked at the camera and Seb was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. No.
So like they're in the back room and like Carlos is next to Nino and they're like waiting for one of their attempts or whatever, and the camera's panning across, and it gets to Carlos and Carlos just winks at the camera, and Seb jokingly was like, "Oh, that's just despicable" or something like that.
Yeah.
And Max was like, "Yeah, he knows. Like he knows what kind of shape he's in."
I think a lot of the. At the beginning, we saw Nino be like so confident and so.
The back injury has affected him a lot.
And he was like, even though that he may not be in the best shape in the world, he was so confident and had so much faith in himself that he wouldn't even let that get to him that he wasn't in the best shape. He would show up and you would probably be able to do like a PR. Like he said, when he had the 217 was in Albania or whatever. He like what he say his best clean and jerk was like 210 or something in training. He hadn't done anything close to that in training. And I think now I've just seen like Carlos, like dude, Carlos is
Yeah,
He's my pick for the Olympic gold.
Brandon on the chat board said that she has a better shot. I'm assuming he means at winning gold than Lee Dayan does.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that's the thing is like when you look, okay, so he might be right because she really just has to beat Rizky.
Yeah,
right?
Which I think he can.
Yeah.
I don't want him to.
Rizky has a giant lead over the number 2. So it's going to be a she versus Rizky, assuming she's in good shape. When you look at the 89s, you got to beat Carlos, you got to beat Yason Lopez, you got to beat Kate Amar, who's definitely going to show up in better shape than he did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you might be right. We might see she going over Lee Dayan.
I think we'll see multiple 180 snatches at
the Olympics.
Like we're going to see Carlos. We're going to see I'm blanking on his name. We're going to see the Colombian show up in
Yason.
We're going to see Yason.
Lopez,
yeah, we're going to see Yason Lopez.
His middle name is Lopez and his last name is Lopez.
Oh. So I think we're going to see, and also if Yason can get his clean and jerk up a little bit.
Which I'm sure he will, at least a little bit.
I think it's just the jerk.
Yeah.
Once he gets, you got that Colombian re-rack going. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, he's clean jerking D10. I mean.
But back to Nino real quick. He's another example, I think, of like the training style that they do, because you saw him do 170 in the training hall and it looked infinitely better than his 170 on the platform. And now there's other things with that. He was in the middle of cutting, probably wasn't down to his full weight yet. And, you know, that stuff definitely takes.
Do you think he has to cut a lot?
I don't know. He doesn't seem like he trains much heavier. Like, I would assume he doesn't have to cut a lot, but he's, you know, cutting it all is going to take some energy out of you.
That's one thing, though, with Carlos that I think's crazy. He doesn't have to cut, really.
The dude's just peeled 24/7.
Yeah, like, he's going to retire.
I mean, he takes
he's
a lot of
IFBB pro.
Progenics. He could be, dude.
Yeah, he could. He's so jacked. Yeah.
That
Carlos 220 power jerk was nasty.
But I'm with you. I think Carlos is you know, the odds-on favorite for sure to take the gold medal in the 89s. All right, now we move to this morning's session, which was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Olivia fucking Freedom America Reeves. I gave her a new middle name.
Freedom America Reeves.
Freedom America Reeves. What in her middle name is actually Lynn, but we're changing it just for this show. What in the hell? So I wasn't sure, kind of like what you talked about. I was like, Olivia's going to show up, maybe hit some okay lifts. I don't think she's going to go big.
I don't know how people do that,
wrong.
man.
Well, I was wrong. Olivia shows up, breaks every American record, and sticks it right in the fucking face of Team China. Yeah, everyone was like, is China going to send Lao Weifeng? If they don't send Lao Weifeng, then Olivia could get a gold. Olivia just beat her straight up. Send her. Fucking send her.
Send her. Just send load her up. Load her
send
up.
her. Send her to Paris, and Olivia will just beat her again.
And she'll beat her, and she'll just gallop off the stage is what she's going to do.
Smiling.
Yeah, she's smiling. She'll be shocked, too. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Did I just really do a 155 clean and jerk? I cannot believe it.
I'm appalled at myself.
Yeah.
That was
amazing performance. Snatches.
6 for 6 again.
Put more weight on the bar. It's not heavy.
She's going to, dude, in Paris, she's going to be going for mid 150 clean and jerks and over 120 snatches.
That's filthy.
Send Lao Weifeng, dude. We ain't scared.
Yeah.
We is not scared. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because the whole thing was like, is she going to try to put pressure on Lao Weifeng? Oh,
no. Yeah.
She didn't put pressure on her.
She applied it.
She smoked her ass.
Yeah. And I think, also, there with the kind of going back a little bit, seeing her in the training hall, she did a 140. She doubled 110.
Yep, doubled like 110 and hit a really easy 140.
The clean looked good. The jerk looked a little shaky if you watch it from the front.
So her jerks have always been a little, but the thing I like is you can tell every meet they get better.
They do.
Her jerks, when you look at like when she was first coming up on the international scene, they were almost all forward. Like she would make them, but you could tell they were all forward. Now. You know, like her 50, I think, was also a tiny bit forward, but night and day.
It looked better. The jerk looked better than the one in the training hall, and it was 10 kilos heavier. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, she's
100%.
The way she pulls the bar reminds me of watching people like, I can't even think about it, like international lifters, when you're just like, how do they do that? What I mean? How do they pull the bar off the floor and make it look so effortless? Because even Carlos, when he's hitting world records, he does not have a fast pull.
I'm trying to think. They're
like Lasha, dude. Her bar path or speed looks like Lasha.
No, I feel like it looks almost quicker than that. I'm trying to think of. There's been a few lifters that I've watched, and it's just like the pull looks.
It looks
like
effortless for her.
There's no weight on the bar. And one thing I was thinking of to myself before we hopped on this with Hampton and Olivia, I could be mistaken, but I don't think they really prioritize pulls in their training like a lot of people do. Maybe I'm speaking out of my ass, but I don't think.
Interesting.
I think it just squats far more than it is pulls. But I know a lot of people are like, oh, I need the bar needs to feel light when I'm pulling it. But I mean, you watch like a Rizky or you watch Carlos.
Yeah,
that's a maximum effort pull.
But
then they stand up so damn easy. But then maybe they're able to utilize their legs far more than they are. Because I know Hampton has a fat squat. You got Olivia, which squat a house.
Squats a house, literally. I mean, I know squatting does help your pull. It's leg drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pulling off the floor is just pushing with your legs at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I really think what we're going to see out of Olivia, if the trends continue, we might see like the best performance by an American at an Olympics since like the 60s, since like the Tommy Kono era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's setting up to do something like literally historic, which is crazy because she's, how old is she? 21?
Something
I think they said, 21 years old.
That's gnarly too, and crazy. She's like, I mean, a lot of lifters like you see in China. I'm guessing they don't have much of a life outside of training. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
I said I'm guessing in China that a lot of those athletes don't have a life outside of training.
I mean, that's what they make it seem like, right?
I mean, Shi Jiang loves fishing and stuff, so who knows?
But right. I mean, how much of that is a life outside of weightlifting as much as it is just like recovery, right? Yeah. I mean, if you're fishing, you could do that at a time where you're supposed to be doing nothing because that's basically what fishing
I guess
is.
That's
no
fair.
offense,
but I mean,
no offense, Ryland, but fishing is.
I caught a big steelhead over the other
hardly
day.
Active. It's hardly active recovery.
Yeah, I mean, then like she's out like doing stuff with friends and stuff, and just pulls up, fly over to Thailand and just drop a 150. Like that's
and then
crazy.
Jump off the stage and smile.
Like she's surprised.
There was something deep in me patriotically that got really fired up to see that American flag above China and North Korea.
They look so pissed. They look so mad.
Well, so that girl, the North Korean girl, was the same girl. I don't know if you remember this. I forget what meet it was, but it was early in Kate's international career. She won a meet against that girl, and she went over to like shake her hand, and the girl like turned and was like away from her because they're like not allowed to talk to Americans. We talked about this with Will a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was the same girl. And like the Chinese athlete looks pissed. I personally kind of feel bad for the North Korean athletes because I don't know what the situation is over there.
Yeah,
you hear stuff, you don't know what's true.
I was listening to
she looked devastated.
I was listening to a Joe Rogan a while ago, and there was something Park, one of the ladies that escaped North Korea.
Okay.
When she was younger, she was talking about the stuff that they go through over there. Like they're eating bugs like out in the streets. Like it's crazy. I can't fathom the stuff that they have to go through.
Seb talked about it during the halftime show, which was an amazing sword fight.
Pretty cool.
Seb talked about how they don't have TV, they don't have television. And it's something you wouldn't even think of, right? Like, oh yeah, they can't just like watch TV. That's
they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they were also saying that I believe in that podcast they were saying, I didn't finish it all the way, but I listened to a good chunk, that they would like eat rats and stuff off the streets. Like if they had, was it Kim Jong-un is the dictator. The dictator. You have to have a picture of him up in your place.
Yeah, I know that.
And if
you have
like
to have
dust or something on it, then they'll like you're whacked.
That's so wild.
It's crazy stuff. Then like obviously they're well fed. Their athletes are.
I mean, their athletes are for sure. Yeah, I mean, you have to be for performance, right?
That's crazy. Scary stuff. Feel bad. I do feel bad.
Like it's like the same thing with Team China. Like I hate Team China, but I don't hate the athletes. Like I hate North Korea, but I don't hate the people there. Like I feel bad for them. Like that just sounds terrible.
Can we get Shi Jiang over here? We'll give him a citizenship. Let's get him over here. Cool.
Caitlin pointed out, my girlfriend pointed out, Maddie Sasser is going to the Olympics for what is it, Marshall Islands?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I watched her compete at the David Leachy was competing at the Oceania.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Maddie Sasser was competing as well, and I was like, man, I haven't heard her name in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Cool
because
though.
she came to us from somewhere else, right? She
Mhm.
was, I forget, it was a South American country, wasn't it?
I don't remember where she's from.
I
But I
believe it
just
was a
remember
South
hearing her,
American
yeah.
country, and then she came over to the U.S. for a little bit. And for those who remember, Jera Lee Vega, back in the day, set some records for America, and then went on to do something else. But so that sums up everything that has happened. Now let's get into a little bit of what could happen. Boys, this is going to be a long show. Okay. I want to stick with America for a little bit.
That's primarily what we're focused on.
Why is Maddie there? I have a couple theories, but why is Maddie there? Why is she even there?
She got a
free trip?
I don't know, man.
Okay, so that's
having fun. I don't know.
Caitlin pointed out to me that she thinks Maddie's weighing in because if something freaky happens and like 4 athletes get hurt and Kate doesn't beat her total, she would go to the Olympics. So she's weighing in just to stay eligible. Which, look, I mean, the chances of that happening are 0, right? I mean, as close to 0 as you can get.
I doubt Russell, pretend you're Maddie, right?
Okay, I'm Maddie.
You hurt. She was like a nerve injury or something. I was watching the last.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that too. I don't know if we'll have time this episode, but I got some thoughts on that.
I can't tell how long we've been going. How long have we been going?
We've been on for almost an hour.
Okay, I don't even care. Let's keep going. So
this is the best podcast we've ever done.
So
just because it's awesome.
Why? Okay, would you even show up? So say Russell, you're Maddie. You go in, you weigh in, and they say, hey, like everybody else got like hit by a car or something, God forbid something happened. Like they all get hurt and they're like, oh, Russell, we need you to show up. But you're like, I'm hurt. I got a back injury. I'm in bad shape. Would you even bother going? Like you're going to do 100, 120.
I mean, it's the Olympics. I don't know. Like that's tough. And the thing is I assume Kate's going to beat her total, or at least obviously she's going to.
I hope she does. She's looking in great shape.
Yeah. I don't know if Kate's going to get into the top 10, but fuck, man, that's tough. I don't know. Like you get a chance to represent your country. Maddie's put in a lot of work. I would say she definitely deserves the opportunity. You know, even though nobody deserves anything technically, but she's put in a lot of work for the U.S. She's been a great ambassador for the sport for most of her career. So like, yeah, I'd go get another Olympics.
Why do you think she's there? So you said it. You think Maddie's there just to stay eligible?
I mean, either that or Nick pointed out on the chat board they can't refund the flights. So it's like if you want it, it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's there, especially. I mean, given we'll talk about the final attempt, most recent episode, and I can't wait to talk with Will about that too. I think the final attempt has given us a large insight into like the mindset of a lot of American. They only are doing females, so a lot of the American female athletes, and I think it's showing a neglect of mental side of training from what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
but
I agree.
But so Meredith, I got to say this morning too, had a really good showing. She did good for Meredith. I've always been a Meredith fan. Like you said, kind of the underdog.
Yeah.
She's never been able to get that spot. But anyways, so the 81s, Kate's going to shoot for the spot. I don't know why Maddie's there, but I'm assuming Kate's going to go fucking huge.
I hope she has to. She's looked really good.
You're not going to go to that. You're not going to go to that meet and just post a total.
I think
if you're in her spot, the whole plan was to go up to 81. If you're going to that competition, you're going to make the Olympics or
you're retiring.
Yeah. I don't know if Kate's not retiring. No way.
You don't think?
No, dude. She's still like 25, 26.
She just got married, man. Like she's.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that, and then the men.
Wes. Yeah, Wes.
Well, yeah. Wes is. I'm assuming Wes is hurt or something. I don't know how you're not trying to book your spot. Wes is banking on the fact that the Samoan lifter will get into the top 10, giving him the continental spot. But Wes is only weighing in. He has to be hurt, right? There's no way you don't at least try for that.
I don't know, man. I watch his training videos and he's looked in such good shape. They said he had an adductor pulled, which I pulled my adductor and it hurts.
Pulled adductors suck.
It hurts to do everything.
Everything hurts. Yeah, everything hurts. Yeah.
And like your glutes will misfire, like your quads won't want to fire. It sucks.
Yeah.
And side note, your adductors are probably super piss poor weak. Do some adductor work. Get on the
Agreed.
Good Girl Bad Girls in the Globo gym.
Clamshells, baby.
Yep, get them clampers. Yeah. And the abductors. Yeah, get it going. Anyways, Wes is just banking on the Samoan.
I mean, that's a risky. So I'm assuming it's because he can't compete. I would really hope that's the reason.
I hope he makes it. I really do. I want
as many Americans in there as we can, but like I said on the last episode we did, I think Hamp is going to be our only male American that's going to go. But I guess it's dependent on this. So, but the thing is, if you're this Samoan guy trying to get into the top 10, you have the continental spot already. So you don't like really need to get into the top 10, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, unless. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, he looks in super good shape. He snatched. His name's like Dawn something.
I don't know his name. I've seen his videos of him lifting.
178, 224. He just has some like filthy lifting.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing is like the pressures, if he already has the continental spot, the pressure is kind of off, or is the continental spot 100% guaranteed? I don't really know how that works.
Or maybe he's also, I guess since Wes isn't in the top 10.
It was just odd for me to see Wes posted with that 60 kilo entry total. I was
Russell, what happens? What if we have number 7 get injured and number 7 doesn't go to the Olympics? Like 7th
and everyone
place.
bumps up 1.
And everybody bumps up 1. So I'm guessing they're saying, hey, Wes, like you need.
But does the continental spot still apply in that situation? I'm assuming it would, right? It's weird stuff.
I don't know.
But anyways, if you're a fan of American weightlifting, you are rooting for the Samoan to total. What would he need? I'm assuming he's on the.
If he does what he's been doing in training, he's going to move into the.
You think so?
Yeah. Unless what he posted was old videos, which I mean, he could.
His name is Don Opologe. I'm probably saying that super wrong. So he. Oh shit! Well, he's tied for 10th and 9th right now. So they're all at 390, 9, 10, and 11. So
he's flirting with 400, which 400 is going to get you super high. Well, because what's the best 102 total right now?
404, Lee Wanwa. And then Mezzo's 2 at 400, and Akbar Jarayev is tied with him at 400.
Which Akbar Jarayev is probably going to do 410 at this meet, I think.
You think he's going to go big?
Yeah, he'll probably go big.
But yeah, I mean, so there's 3 lifters at 390.
Or he won't compete. Who knows?
There's a Kyrgyzstani lifter at 388. And then Wes tied with him at 388. But Wes,
if Dadish Bailey is Dadish Bailey on there?
He is not.
He's not
unless he's below the bottom 16.
He may not be qualified.
Yeah, it looks like he's not
Azerbaijan,
eligible.
Right? Yeah, Azerbaijan.
Yeah, he's not eligible.
Dang, his band just got him probably banned for like everything.
But yeah, so that was weird seeing Wes not competing. But like I said, there has to be a reason.
He's in such good shape. Like he chucked like 180 behind him. Or
how recent was this?
Twice. Like within the past few months.
Right, but then so did something happen between them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, like is he injured right now? Is what I'm thinking has to be happening. So yeah, you're gonna be rooting for the Samoan. And then the plus 102s, America doesn't really have a chance to send. I know Kane has a chance at the continental spot if David Leedy gets in the top 10. Which
I think David Leedy would probably get in the top 10.
Right now he is 8 kilos, so he would need to improve his total by 9 kilos.
So what's the total? What's the total to get in there?
He posted 413 at the Oceania Comp in Auckland, New Zealand. He needs 422. And there are 2 above him, so he's 13th right now.
Let's see.
So that would be cool. We're gonna get to see. I always like watching Kane and Medina, the big boys compete. It just sucks. Internationally, we're so far behind on the big boys. It's pretty much since Shane Hammond, we haven't had anyone super
What do you think that is?
Drugs.
Drugs.
I
But
mean,
I mean,
yeah.
you could say the same thing with like, I mean, if you saw like the Nate Serwinski video and Hampton saying you can't make excuses because of drugs, like it's just not something that he can do. So if you say it's
I think
drugs, then
so.
you're
In
kind of making
America
excuses.
specifically, I think bigger, stronger guys play football. Look, if you're a 6'4", 325, 350, somewhere in that range man who's insanely strong, you're going to get a football scholarship. You're not weightlifting. You know what I mean? So I think that definitely has something to do. It's like what people used to say with CJ. With CJ, it was always like, thank God he's short, because if he wasn't, he'd be playing football at USC. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
would.
that's the thing. You know, CJ's a freak athlete, which on the next episode, I do want to talk about CJ's career arc and how strange that's been. But yeah, so we will recap the rest of the comp next Sunday. It will be over by then, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it'll be over by then.
It will be over. Yeah. We got just a few more sessions.
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's all the sessions that aren't Olympic classes too, right?
Which I don't even know why.
109 and no, will there be a 109 and a 109 plus?
How
does that work? Is everyone above 102 qualified for the 102 class? That's probably how they're doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing. It'll be a 102 plus and a 102.
Yes, they're going to be a 102 plus and a 109, because that wouldn't really make sense either.
Yeah, no.
But we'll save the rest, because if we talk about the final attempt doc right now, it's going to be another.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the final attempt doc later.
We'll only have a couple sessions to recap on the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the 102s is going to be good. Lee Wanawag, Giga Chad looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Giga Chad, stupidest nickname ever. I'm not down with the youth and their silly words. But no, yeah, 102s will be good. Yeah, we'll get to see Mezzo and Jarayev, but I don't think there's. I mean, I guess for West, there's like a chance to get in, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be a ton of battles, at least at the top, because everyone's locked in. Lesman Paredes is in there. That's cool. Anyways,
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We will do another one of these next week. I have found a podcast hosting site. I want to let everyone know. This week I will upload all of our old episodes. That's going to take fucking forever, but I have all the old episodes. We will be back on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at least. I don't know about getting the other ones, but those are the main two that people listen on anyways. But we will be up on those two hopefully by this time next week when we go live, and we'll recap the rest of Thailand World Cup, arguably the best weightlifting competition I've been alive for. I think the rest of this comp will decide that.
The Olympics is going to be insane.
The Olympics is going to be insane. And shout out Kate Vibert. Do something big. I would love to see an American.
I want to see her go so bad.
We haven't seen any Americans make a crazy jump, right?
I hope she. Yeah, no.
Okay, but here's the thing. If Kate does get in the top 10, whose spot is she taking? Coach Mary? No.
Mary.
Olivia? No. Jordan? No. So, like, she would have to make an insane jump. I think the only one she would have a chance to take out is Mary.
Yeah, I think if she ends up getting high enough, Mary. But I want to see Mary go.
Right, because she would. So Mary is. Let's just do this real quick before we sign off. Mary is currently 5th. All right, so that means she would have to be at least 5th, and then they do it based on, I think someone said, percentage of the number one total.
Yeah.
So for Kate to get fit, she has to total 250.
250?
250. Sorry, nope. I was in 71s. I was thinking of old Kate. She would have to total 262.
Load it up. Let's try it.
I mean, you got to go for it, right? What's that? 110, 150, 115. Oh, okay. Well, good luck, Kate. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, I want to see her do it.
Put it on the bar. Let's get a Steiner-esque.
Yeah, and also one thing we talked about, your former teammate Brian moved out to train with his coach. Hannah and I made the decision to move out and train with my coach. Talk about that next podcast.
Oh, a little teaser. You guys made a decision to go out, and your coach is
Trip.
Who coaches
Hampton Morris,
who is currently the only American world record holder.
You know, they're doing something right.
Oh,
I'm 21, just outside of Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, damn, you're moving out to the boonies.
Yeah. So.
Down the south, boy. All right. Well,
give it my best shot. We'll see what happens.
Fucking dope. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next week, and I will keep everyone updated on Instagram about uploading the the episodes and when they're live and stuff. But
I see y'all
later. Awkward pause.